Alright, so NIO is going up more than 6% today. It is flying, performing insanely well. NIO is a truly winning stock. In the last week, it went up nearly 30%, so truly a winning stock. However, regardless if you are already an investor, if you want to trade in NIO, if you want to add positions, if you are anxious about NIO, you must keep in mind the most important critical key points on it that I'm gonna update you guys today. Welcome to the Finance Hydra channel. By the way, my name is Nathan. Very nice to meet you guys. Let's update the most important key points on NIO. If we analyze in the 1 hour chart, if we hide all of these lines, we see that NIO is clearly in a bull trend. It is doing higher highs, higher lows, and it is trading above the 21 EMA, which is pointing upwards, by the way. In fact, if you say, oh Nathan, do we see a huge, gigantic rounded bottom over here? I'm not gonna disagree with you. In this case, yes, we have more upside potential. However, I would pay attention to other key points on it. For instance, right now, NIO is just inside the flag of this bearish flag chart pattern, which is quite huge, by the way, right? Since NIO started dropping on September 14 over here, we see this gigantic bearish flag going on. The flag was not triggered, and maybe it will never be triggered. However, if NIO drops and triggers this bearish flag, what's next for it? I do believe NIO it is going to retest the next support level in the weekly chart, which is around the $7. I'm so sorry, the $5.70. I do believe you're going to retest this blue line over here in the future. However, again, the pattern was not triggered yet, but you must pay attention to it, because if it does, the situation will get a little ugly on NIO, okay? So pay attention to this flag pattern. Right now, if you ask me, is there any chance that this flag is going to be triggered? Well, yes, of course, but by the moment NIO broke the 21 EMA in the daily chart over here, it is starting trading above the EMA. It is trying to do higher highs, higher lows. The trend is already bullish in the 1 hour chart. I think the odds of a downwards breakout decrease sharply, dramatically, to be honest. Now, if it does a very ugly bearish reaction this week or next week, okay, maybe the odds of a downside breakout will increase again. But so far, as long as NIO stays above the 21 EMA in the daily chart, I'm not working with this possibility right now at this moment. But it is important to keep your eyes open, because this flag pattern is a quite critical chart pattern to work with on NIO. Now, okay, Nathan, so you are saying that NIO is still bullish, okay? Maybe it is going to trigger this bearish flag, but we don't know yet. As long as we stay above the EMA, we are kind of safe in this scenario. So what if NIO breaks this flag pattern upwards? Well, you are right, because and you are not crazy at all, because statistically speaking, a bearish flag or any kind of flag is a continuation pattern. So in theory, NIO should trigger this pattern downwards, but this is not a rule. If it breaks this flag upwards, which is a real possibility right now, it would just retest the next resistance, which is around $22.84. Now, before I talk about the most critical key point to watch on the upside, are you still watching this video? Click on the like button to support this channel. Subscribe to keep in touch with my data analysis. I'm here every single day, keeping you guys updated on many stocks. So click on the like button, subscribe. Do you want to trade with me? Check my website. The link is in the description of this video. Check this website. This is a beautiful website. Look at this, all right? Join the top 5% traders. My performance is public. I have nothing to hide. Now, the critical point on NIO is $14, this red line up here. Why? Because, not only because it is the previous top level, but because if NIO by any means breaks this red line, it is going to trigger a bullish pivot point in the daily chart. And this is quite meaningful because the trend is already bullish in the 1 hour chart. If it triggers, if it does a higher high, higher low in the daily chart above the 21 EMA, the trend is going to reverse in the midterm. So $14 is the critical point on NIO. If it breaks the $14, I think it is going to trigger this bearish flag upwards, frustrating the bearish sentiment on it, and in this scenario it is going to seek the $22 again. And this is not that crazy if we analyze in the weekly chart, because this drop over here and right now this recovery, it feels like NIO wants to trigger a V-shaped recovery, right? So this scenario might materialize if we break the $14. Of course, right now this week it is doing a hanging man candlestick pattern under the 21 EMA. So remember, the trend in the weekly chart is still bearish. It is bullish in the daily chart, in the 1 hour chart. Yes, it is. However, long-term speaking, NIO is just crashing. It is in a very strong and sharp bear trend. So we gotta pay attention to this 21 EMA in the weekly chart, because since February 2021, we can't consistently trade above the EMA in the weekly chart, all right? So pay attention to the EMA right now at this moment in the weekly chart. If you ask me, given the high volume last week, given the fact that we are trying to reverse the trend, I think we have decent chances of breaking this EMA. However, no bullish sign was confirmed on it yet. If you ask me, my personal opinion, NIO is in a no man's land, okay? As long as it stays below the $14, above the EMA in the daily chart, I think nothing interesting will happen on it. We should just patiently wait, because NIO is a very promising stock regardless of what happens. If it triggers this bearish flag downwards, if it breaks the $14, either way, it is going to do something phenomenal in my humble opinion. So right now, let's just wait. I'm gonna keep you guys updated every single day in this channel. So subscribe, again, subscribe this channel, click on the like button. See you guys tomorrow. Stay safe, my friends. Farewell.